Hey everyone, it's Chaos World here, and I'm with Maybell. And welcome to this new thing that I wanted to start. It is basically I'm going to be talking about different subjects, and this is an open discussion. So you feel free to post your response if you want to make a response. Talk in the comments, anything like that. If you do make a video, just let me know in the comments, and I'll I'll watch it and probably comment on it. The only rules I guess that I'm gonna have of this is being nice, basically. So no like bullying or like calling people names, that type thing. Like at least from my video, if I see any like negative stuff like that, I'm just gonna delete the comment because I just want this place to be nice. Okay, so getting all comfy here. So basically, this first little discussion is when I first started the hobby versus now. This is just like some big changes that I've kind of noticed. Some of them aren't that big, but things that have changed. And if you're new and you're watching this, it'll kind of give you a gist of like um something in the hobby. Things trend, things come and go just like in real life. So sometimes if you're not in the it crowd, quote unquote, does not mean that like you're any less or you should leave the hobby or anything, because as I said, things come and go. I've been in the hobby since like I got my first doll in 2012, and I was before that, basically all of 2011, I was just stalking, watching videos and liking Flickr and all that stuff, and looking at dolls that I wanted but couldn't get. So yeah, and then 2012, I finally got a job because I was legal and legal to work, and yeah, I bought my first doll. But this is not my first doll. This is just one of my many. So first thing I want to talk about, because I mentioned the good old Flickr, um, is that basically, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Wonderful. Yeah, Flickr. Yeah, when I first started the hobby, like social media, sharing your dolls, all that stuff was a lot different. Um, I, it's still a big thing. Well, I don't know if it's huge, but it's still a thing. Flickr used to be like a huge thing that I used to look up people with dolls and sculpts and stuff. It was actually pretty helpful because sometimes they had little like groupings that were just like a specific sculpt or a specific company, so you can like browse that. That was kind of cool. YouTube was a lot smaller. It might have been at the time that I just wasn't looking enough, but I used to like look a lot to find new people. Especially I used to look up people's BJD addicts, the intros, and like I saw a lot of new people that way. So I used to hunt for those, and I found a lot of people. Another thing when I first started the hobby, BJD addicts were the big thing. Um, like it hadn't just started. Like I was watching when it started to kind of catch on, but I hadn't participated until like a good year or so after. But I was keeping up to date, so that was a big thing. Now the newer thing is like wine and dollies, and like tags instead of like BJD Addicts was kind of like a tag thing, but they weren't. It was actually called BJD Addicts Tag. This is that, but now it's just people doing tags and creating their own tags. Another thing versus the Flickr thing is that Instagram was not a huge thing at the time. Even when I actually first got on Instagram, and I looked for doll people, there wasn't a huge ton. Like now there's tons and tons of people, but before, when I like first started, I didn't see that much. Like there's still a lot of BJD people, but not as much as now, if that makes any sense. um versus now, what else can I remember specifically about the hobby? Something that was just caught my eye as well. companies that were kind of rising and falling. I know that Resin Soul changed a little bit. Um, I don't know if it's because they became more popular or what, but they changed a bit. I think they have like these little cards and stuff now. Yeah, when I got her, I still have her case. Like she basically came like with nothing. Like when I opened her compared to my first doll, I was like, there's barely anything in here. So that was different. I never knew about Miradol. It was around. Miradol wasn't like people used Miradol, but it wasn't like a huge thing because their quality wasn't as good. Like their quality is still not like the top notch, but it's definitely gotten better over the time. So that was another thing. What else? I'm trying to think. Oh, when I was, I guess, kind of newbie in the hobby, the big thing for wigs was alpaca wigs. Alpaca wigs was like the top notch. Everyone was making alpaca wigs. Everyone buying alpaca wigs. Alpaca wigs everywhere. Like now the big thing is yarn wigs. I don't know if how long it's gonna be. That like they were always around. It's just now it's like the primary thing. So I don't know what the next thing is gonna be. Well, I guess we'll have to see. Um, Also, what else is another thing that was like a different for me? This is still a big thing. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I remember like the I don't know how what like a good saying for it, but like the wow factor was Mako eyes. They're still very nice, don't get me wrong. But I remember there was a huge trend of everyone buying Mako eyes at one point. Another point was everyone was buying Blythe. People still are obviously buying them, but I remember there was like a couple months where literally like everyone was like buying Blythes and like customizing them and stuff, and I did not jump on that train. I almost did actually. There was this one Blythe I saw on the internet, eBay, and it was like, oh, I love her. Like if I was gonna get a Blythe, I'd get her. She was a factory Blythe, and she had brown hair, and it was long, and she didn't. She just had like sorry. She had a kind of like a sullen expression. Uh, it was just she was really pretty, but I could just never create a character in my mind for her. And another thing with Blythe is I was never a fan of how big and flat their heads are. Like I like looking at other people's Blythes, but for me, I think their heads would really annoy me because they have really tiny bodies. Like I have pull-ups, and you think they have really big heads and tiny bodies, which is true, and it actually kind of annoys me a lot because they can't stand or anything because their heads are too big. And I know Blythes can stand, but like I just didn't want to get another really big head doll. So yeah, I never jumped on that train. Maybe in the future I might buy a Blythe. I don't know. They still intrigue me, but not for now. Another huge thing. Hybriding was well, I guess back then it always was a big thing, but and now it's still a huge thing. I think the difference is there's just more videos about different types of hybrids people have tried, which I really like personally. What is another thing that I've changed since when I started? Um, I think for at least well, actually, there's a lot more, of course, newbies coming in and out. It makes me sad when they're leaving, actually, honestly. It does. But I'm glad there's a lot of newbies coming in. That's pretty cool. More like, I don't know, I've noticed more new people from when I started, which is awesome. And I probably said that like 3 times. For personal growth, which I'm just gonna throw in real quick. For personal, I would say have a lot more dolls from when I started. I never expected to have this many. But I'm loving the ride though, so that's pretty cool. Also, I guess like some of their styles and aesthetics have changed from when I first started. I've even changed my MSG story, so yeah, that's interesting. So I'm gonna wrap this up because it's already 10 minutes. Hopefully you had fun reminiscing and some of the stuff that I was recalling, and hopefully I see a response or some comments, or stuff that you remember about in the past and from when you started from now. I'm pretty sure for people who've been in the hobby way even like longer, way longer before me, you probably have some interesting things to share about what was going on in the doll world compared to now. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.